The sky was calm that morning. No one knew it would be the last normal morning on Earth. People walked to work, drank coffee, checked their phones, and carried on like any other day. Children laughed on their way to school, unaware of what was coming. At exactly 9:27 a.m., everything changed. A loud hum filled the air, not like thunder, not like any plane. It was deep, like the earth itself was holding its breath. People stopped. Birds flew in strange circles. Dogs howled and ran into the streets. Then it appeared. Above the city, in broad daylight, a blue light tore through the sky, like a knife slicing through fabric. A huge circle of glowing energy hovered silently. Sparks flew around its edges, floating like fireflies in daylight. The portal had opened. People screamed. Cars stopped. Phones came out. Some cried. Others just stood frozen, filming with shaky hands. Then came the ship. Slowly, like a giant black whale swimming through the air, the alien craft descended from the portal. It had no wings, no engines, just smooth dark metal, shaped like an arrowhead, glowing with lines of pale green light. It made no sound, no wind, no vibration. It simply floated there, impossible and terrifying. The entire world watched. Every screen switched to live footage. The alien ship was above New York, but within minutes, identical portals opened in Tokyo, London, Cairo, Rio, and more. 12 cities. 12 ships. People started to panic. Governments scrambled. Fighter jets were sent up, but they couldn't approach. As soon as they got close, they simply shut down mid-air and fell. Parachutes deployed. No pilots died. But the message was clear. Don't come near. In New York, the ship slowly descended to just a few hundred feet above Central Park. Crowds gathered below. Police tried to keep them back, but fear had turned into curiosity. And curiosity had turned into awe. Then, without warning, the ship spoke, not in sound, but in every mind. A calm, emotionless voice filled the heads of every human in the city. Do not be afraid. We have come to save you. Your world is in danger. Please do not resist. People looked at each other. Some fainted. Some dropped their phones. Some just wept. The voice continued. We are the Alari. We have watched you. We understand your pain. We will begin the rescue now. Then, a section of the ship opened like a petal blooming. A ramp extended down to the ground. Smooth, glowing steps forming from thin air. From the shadows of the ship, 3 figures emerged. They were tall, 7 feet or more. Their skin was silver blue, smooth like glass, with glowing lines across their arms and faces. Their eyes were large and soft, like pools of water, no pupils, no blinking. Their movement was graceful, not robotic, but almost too perfect. They didn't walk, they glided. The crowd stepped back. Police raised their weapons, but didn't fire. One of the aliens raised its hand. A pulse of energy spread through the park. All weapons stopped working, guns, radios, cameras. Nothing functioned anymore. The same calm voice returned. Weapons are unnecessary. We bring no harm. We only offer help. Your survival is our mission. Then something strange happened. One of the aliens gently walked toward a young woman in the crowd. She had a child in her arms, crying. The alien placed its hand near the child. The crying stopped. The child looked calm, like floating in a dream. The woman looked confused. She's not sick anymore, she whispered. A man nearby shouted, What do you mean rescue? From what? The alien turned its head slowly and responded aloud. Its voice was deep, like 2 tones at once. Your planet is dying. Your leaders are failing you. Your species is in decline. We will take you somewhere safe. You will live better, freely, without fear. Silence. Then someone else shouted, You mean take us away? Like pets? The alien didn't reply. People began murmuring. Doubt was spreading. A reporter, still live streaming with an old backup device, whispered into his mic, "This is not a war. This is something else." Correction? Back in Washington, world leaders were holding emergency calls. The president looked at the screen. Live feed from different cities showed the same. Glowing ships, calm voices, peaceful aliens offering rescue. He slammed the desk. "We didn't ask for help. We're not evacuating Earth." "But how do you fight something that doesn't attack?" The alien voice returned, this time in the minds of every human on Earth. "We begin relocation. In 3 days. Please prepare. We will not force you, but resistance is not recommended." 3 days, panic spread. Some people began packing. Others gathered food, water, weapons. Religious leaders called it the end times. Scientists argued this was first contact, but not an invasion. Something stranger. Meanwhile, resistance groups started forming. Online groups calling themselves Stay Human went viral. They didn't want saving. They wanted answers. One of their leaders, a former soldier named Mason Rourke, went live from a hidden bunker. His voice was firm. "They think we're weak, that we've lost, but we're still here, and we don't need saving." His words spread across the world. Even some military officers started listening. In the final hours of the day, the alien ship still hovered in the skies, silent, watching, waiting. One small drone floated down from the New York ship. It scanned the city, recording data. But as it turned a corner, a slingshot fired a steel bolt straight into it. The drone sparked, fell, and shattered. The boy who shot it, no older than 12, smiled and whispered, "Not today, alien." That video went viral within minutes. And in the mothership above, inside a glowing chamber, the alien commander turned to his team. "They are more complex than expected," he said, "emotionally unstable, spiritually conflicted. And yet, they resist." Another alien responded, "We came to save them, but perhaps we do not understand what they are." The commander nodded slowly. "Observe longer. Do not interfere yet. Let's see what humans really are." As night fell over Earth, 12 ships floated silently over 12 cities. Glowing eyes in the sky, watching, waiting. And humanity, afraid, divided, confused, had just taken its first step into a future none of them understood. The 12 alien ships remained in the skies. Days passed. Humans watched the skies with fear and curiosity. The aliens, however, were watching humans. Even closer, inside the mothership above New York, glowing walls shifted constantly, screens forming and disappearing like water. Floating symbols, live footage, energy waves, heat maps, sound patterns, all filled the observation chamber. The alien commander, tall, silver blue, emotionless, floated near a console. His name was Kaloran. He watched in silence. Earth's chaos was beautiful and confusing. One screen showed a riot in Brazil, people fighting each other over food supplies. Another showed monks meditating peacefully in the Himalayas. In Africa, families danced under the open sky. In Ukraine, soldiers fought not aliens, but each other. A junior alien, Syrinx, tilted his head. His voice was full of curiosity. "Commander, the species shows extreme behavioral variation. They build, destroy, create, love, and then destroy again." Kaloran nodded slowly. "Their emotional range is wide. Logic is present, but overridden often. They value stories, symbols, faith." Another screen showed a wedding in Mexico. The couple was poor, their clothes were simple, but they were laughing, surrounded by family, singing, dancing. "Look at them," Syrinx whispered. "They know suffering and still choose joy." Kaloran replied, "It is not efficient, but it is powerful." Suddenly, another screen lit up red. A drone had been destroyed in Chicago. Video footage showed a group of teenagers using scrap metal, magnets, and car batteries to create an electromagnetic cannon. They laughed and cheered as the drone fell in flames. Kelleran narrowed his eyes. Their intelligence is underestimated. Sarex added, we have studied them for years from orbit. But living among them is different. Their minds are unpredictable. They act on belief. Back on Earth, things were changing fast. World leaders couldn't agree on how to respond. Some wanted diplomacy. Others demanded defense. A few secretly prepared for attack. A group of scientists released a global message. Do not resist. These beings are far beyond us. Let them guide us. But not everyone agreed. In a desert base in Nevada, Resistance leader Mason Rourke was watching alien broadcasts on a cracked screen. He leaned forward and whispered, they're watching us like we're lab rats. But they don't know rats bite. Back, he turned to his small team, hackers, engineers, soldiers, even school kids. We don't shoot first. But we watch them, too. Let's see what scares them. In Tokyo, a drone flew into a hospital. People screamed, but it didn't attack. Instead, it released small spheres that floated gently in the air. The spheres scanned patients and healed wounds. Old people stood up. Children smiled. One blind woman cried, I can see. I can see the sky again. The world was shocked. Was this a threat? Or a miracle? News channels exploded with debates. Some called the aliens angels. Others called them liars. Some warned, they're only helping to gain our trust. Back on the mothership, Kelleran watched quietly. Sarex walked beside him, clearly disturbed. They fear us, but also admire us. Many wish to leave this planet. Others would rather die than accept our help. Kelleran spoke calmly. They are a paradox, fragile yet dangerous, lost yet proud. Sarex hesitated. Commander, I fear we may be wrong. Kelleran turned. Wrong? About them. About saving them. Some don't want saving. Some believe they are already winning. Kelleran didn't reply. He just watched. In London, an alien scout landed near a ruined neighborhood. He extended his hand to a starving boy. The boy took the food, then spit on the scout. We don't need your pity, he said. We've survived worse than you. The scout reported back, confused. They insult kindness. They reject peace. Why? Kelleran answered, because they fight even when they are losing. Especially then. More and more incidents were reported. In India, villagers repaired a broken water system by copying alien tech. In Russia, hackers cracked alien signal codes. In Canada, children built models of alien ships and improved the designs. Sarex watched it all and whispered, they adapt faster than expected. They are not waiting to be saved. They are studying us. Kelleran nodded. Perhaps this was not a rescue mission after all. Perhaps it is. Contact with something unknown. That night, Earth felt strange. The ship still floated above the cities, glowing silently. People couldn't sleep. Some prayed. Some partied. Some prepared weapons. Some just sat on rooftops, watching the sky. In a refugee camp in Syria, a boy drew an alien in the sand. He smiled. Maybe they're here to stop the wars, he told his sister. She replied. Or maybe to start a new one. The aliens observed everything, emotions, decisions, dreams, fear. Inside the mothership, Kelleran spoke privately to the High Council through a psychic link. Status report. A deep voice demanded. Are they cooperating? Kelleran paused. They are surviving in their own way. It is not what we expected. Then begin collection. Bring them to safety. No, Kelleran said. Not yet. The council was silent. Explain. We came to save them, but I now believe they have already saved themselves many times. They bleed, but they grow. They fall, but they rise again. So you question the mission? I question our understanding. Back on Earth, Resistance leader Rourke released another broadcast. He stood in front of a burning flag, not a national one, but a blank white one with a human handprint. To the Alari watching this, we see you, you call us broken. But we are still standing. You say we are lost. But we are finding our own way. If you think we are weak, come closer and find out why we've survived this long. The video spread across Earth's networks like fire. Some humans cheered. Others feared what would come next. In the ship above, Kaloran watched the video 3 times. His face remained calm, but his hands trembled slightly. Sarex looked at him. Commander, what now? Kaloran turned to the window, watching the blue planet spin gently below them. Now we wait. Let's see what the humans do when they know we are not in control anymore. As the second day ended, the skies remained unchanged, but the ground was beginning to move, and for the first time the aliens wondered, did we come to save them? Or are we the ones in danger now? The countdown ended. The 3rd day had arrived. At exactly 8 a.m. in every major city under the ships. A low chime echoed in the sky. A warm white light bathed the streets. People looked up, shielding their eyes. The voice returned, calm, cold. Powerful. This is the beginning of rescue. All willing humans, step into the light. You will be transported to safety. No harm will come to you. And then the lights touched the ground. In New York, Cairo, Tokyo, silver-white beams formed. Soft columns that reached the earth like waterfalls. They shimmered gently, peacefully. A woman stepped forward. She looked around, took a deep breath, and entered the light. Her body lifted slowly into the air, weightless. Her face looked calm, almost in a dream. Then she vanished. Others followed, old. Men, children, sick people. Those with nothing left. In just 1 hour, over 200,000 humans had stepped into the lights. But not everyone was ready. In a small neighborhood in Berlin, an alien rescue drone hovered over a group of refugees. It extended soft arms with floating pods, offering food, healing, and transport. A man stood in front of his family. No, he said, we're not leaving our land, not for anything. The drone paused. Survival is optimal. Staying here is unsafe. The man clenched his fist. We've survived bombs, fire, hunger. We'll survive this too. The drone didn't argue. It just floated back and moved on. Meanwhile, on a farm in India, an old woman stood before the glowing light with tears in her eyes. My husband is buried here. My ancestors are here. I'm not leaving my soul behind. The alien guiding the rescue observed her for a moment, then deactivated the beam. The aliens were beginning to understand, but resistance wasn't just words anymore. In Arizona, Mason Rourke and his team had been watching the rescue operations. They intercepted alien communication signals, tracking which zones were being cleansed first. Rourke slammed his fist on the table. They say it's rescue, but they're removing the weak, the broken, the tired. What happens to the rest of us? His team looked at him in silence. He continued, we don't stop the beams. We don't attack the ships. We send a message. That night in London, an alien beam began forming near a school. As children stepped forward, a strange noise filled the air, static, like broken radio signals. Then, a projection appeared in the sky, Mason Rourke's face. To the people of Earth, you have a choice. This is still your home. The aliens mean well, but they don't understand us. You're not weak for needing help. You're strong for deciding when and how to take it. Don't let the light make you forget the fire inside you. The alien beam dimmed. The children stepped back. The aliens took notice. Inside the New York ship, Commander Kalorin stared at the human face in the sky. Sarix turned to him. The human resistance grows. But it's not angry. It's proud. They don't want to fight. They want to be seen. Kalorin replied, "Perhaps we are not rescuers. Perhaps we are intruders in a story still being written." Back on Earth, not all humans rejected the aliens. In Brazil, a girl named Ana had been sick her entire life. She couldn't walk. She couldn't breathe without help. She was placed in the beam by her parents, crying as she floated upward. She vanished in light. Moments later, a small pod descended, and she walked out. Her legs worked. She could run. She could sing. People fell to their knees in tears. "They healed me," she whispered. "I can live now." But that miracle brought more questions. A scientist in Japan watched from his lab. He had studied alien tech for months, secretly. He whispered to his assistant, "They can cure anything. So why not share the cure with everyone?" The assistant replied, "Maybe because they don't trust us yet. Or maybe they want us to depend on them." In a forest in Kenya, a young man climbed a tree and attached a strange device. It emitted a soft pulse that distorted alien signals nearby. He smiled. His name was Ale, a tech genius. Just 17. He had built the first human-made disruption field. His message went viral across encrypted networks. "We're not waiting for orders. We're learning. We're building our own future. And if aliens want to help, they better listen first." Inside the mothership, Kaloran observed a new wave of human resistance. This time, not with violence, but with will. "They do not refuse out of hate," Sarix said. "They refuse out of hope. They believe they can fix their world. That is not weakness. That is the strongest form of survival." Kaloran replied, almost softly, "We judged too early. We assumed pain meant surrender. But they wear pain like armor." The Alien High Council contacted Kaloran again. "Report. Has the species accepted relocation?" Kaloran paused. "Some have. Most resist. Then take control. Use force if needed. The species is not rational." Kaloran raised his head with respect. "They are not irrational. They are emotional. They are human." "Then what do you suggest?" Kaloran turned away from the stars and faced his own people. "We stop the rescue, we stop the beams, and we ask back." On Earth, as night fell again, the lights vanished. The beams stopped. The skies dimmed. And for the first time, no voice filled the air. Silence. Then, across every city, a new message appeared. This time, not in the mind, but written in the sky itself like floating fire. "We will not act unless you ask us to. This is your world. We will listen." People stood in silence. No one spoke. Then slowly, in neighborhoods, towns, cities, people began to cheer. Some cried. Some prayed. Some simply looked up at the ships and whispered, "Thank you for understanding." And inside the ship, Sarix turned to Kaloran. "What now?" Kaloran smiled for the first time. "Now we wait, not as saviors, not as gods, but as guests." The rescue had begun, but it didn't end with beams or ships. It began with something far more powerful. Kalan respect. And the realization that maybe the humans didn't need saving. They just needed someone to believe they could save themselves. The sky was quiet now. No more beams, no more voices, no more rescue. For the first time in 3 days, Earth felt human again. But inside the ships, silence did not mean peace. It meant observation, study, waiting. Commander Kaloran stood before a new screen, not showing cities, but people, individuals, their faces, their choices. "Let us understand them better," he said. "Let us learn who they are, not what they suffer." Sarix nodded. "They are no longer data points. They are variables." In the ruins of northern Syria, a boy named Tariq walked through a destroyed school. He carried a notebook filled with sketches of alien ships, engines, machines. He was 13. He had never seen peace. But his mind worked like a scientist. An alien scout observed from above. It reported back, "The human child reverse-engineered our landing pod sketch. Using only charcoal and memory." Kaloran looked at the drawings. Precise, creative. "Impossible for a species that had just met them," he whispered. "They are more than survivors. They are inventors of pain. And beauty." In Ukraine, soldiers had stopped fighting each other. They were building something together. A device made from old alien scraps. A communication tower. Their commander, Captain Ilya, said in a radio broadcast, "They wanted to rescue us. But now we want to speak as equals. Let them come down." Not as gods, as guests. Kaloran watched this with curiosity. Their aggression has become cooperation. Their fear has become pride. But not all changes were peaceful. In a lab deep under Colorado, a secret human faction, known only as Division 7, had captured a piece of alien tech. It pulsed with blue light, alive, sensitive. Dr. Rini Voss stood before it, whispering, "They think they're studying U.S. But we're dissecting them." Her assistant hesitated. "Should we even be doing this?" She replied coldly, "They came without asking. We didn't invite gods. We invited questions. Now we get answers." Aliens had always believed humans were broken because of war, pollution, and conflict. But now, they saw something else. "They are unpredictable," Sarek said. "Even when given peace, they seek control." Kaloran nodded. "Control is not power to them. It is identity." In Nairobi, children held a parade, holding signs in both alien and human script. The message was simple: "We are still learning, but don't teach us by replacing us." It made Kaloran pause. They want guidance, not governance. That is rare among intelligent species. Sarek added, "Or maybe they simply want the freedom to fail." Then came the first incident. In a quiet village in Canada, an alien drone returned, damaged, scorched, burned, its memory files removed. The ones who attacked it weren't soldiers. They were scholars, philosophers, thinkers, historians. Their reason? "Knowledge should be shared, not monitored," one of them said in a video. "They know everything about us. We know nothing about them." Kaloran faced the council once more. "They are not rebels. They are thinkers. Their defiance is curiosity. Do you still believe they don't need saving?" The council asked. Kaloran answered without hesitation. "They don't need saving. They need space. To be understood." In Brazil, a teenage girl named Noah created an online platform using alien signal structures and invited alien AI to chat with human minds freely. Millions joined. Questions flowed both ways. Why do humans cry when happy? Why do aliens avoid emotion? Why do we keep destroying what we love? The answers were never complete, but the connection was. It was no longer rescue. It was exchange. But the darkness wasn't gone. In London, a group calling themselves the Purists declared humans must remain untouched. No alien help, no alien tools, no alien cures. They bombed the hybrid hospital. 20 dead, 40 injured. And among the victims were aliens helping humans. One alien bled silver. A child ran to him, pressed a cloth to the wound. The alien looked at the child. "Why?" the child cried. "Some of us are scared. Some of us are sick inside. But not all, not all." Back in the ship, Sarek sat silently. Something had shifted in him. They make mistakes, but they regret them. Is that? What makes them different? Kaloran whispered, "No, that's what makes them alive." At midnight, a signal lit up from Antarctica. Unexplored, untouched. But now active. An alien probe arrived and found something terrifying. A bunker, hidden, human-built, ancient. Inside, a massive archive of war machines, nuclear, chemical, even prototypes for space weaponry. Built decades ago. Not to fight other humans, but in preparation for something else. They have always feared us, Sarek said, even before we arrived. Kaloran looked at the blueprints. Weapons beyond what Earth should have. Did they steal these designs or dream them? The AI replied, both. Then came the question that no alien had asked before. What if humans are not behind in evolution, but ahead of it, in a path we never chose? Kaloran stood before a gathering of alien leaders on the ship. His voice was clear. They are not just a young species. They are a dangerous one. Not because they destroy, but because they imagine. Do we fear them now? A leader asked. Kaloran smiled. No, we respect them now. The final scenes of the day were quiet. A boy in Iraq drew stars on a rooftop. He waved at the ship above. A grandmother in China wrote a letter in alien symbols and left it outside her door. Soldier in Mexico laid down his weapon and planted a tree, and the aliens watched, not with control, but with awe. We thought they were broken, Sarek said. But maybe they are just unfinished. Kaloran closed his eyes. And maybe so are we. They came to save, then came to learn. Now they were beginning to change, but what neither side knew was that something else was watching both of them, something older, something that didn't want peace, something that had just awakened. The earth was calm, for now the rescue had stopped. The lights had gone quiet. The ships floated silently above the clouds like watchful giants, but deep in orbit, beyond human satellites, far beyond the motherships, something else moved. It did not shine. It did not send messages. It did not ask for permission. It simply watched. On the main alien ship, Commander Kaloran walked through the hall of observation. Sarek joined him, holding a report. Something entered this system 2 Earth days ago, Sarek said quietly. No light, no signal, not ours. Not theirs. Kaloran frowned. Are you saying another species is here? Sarek didn't answer. He simply brought up the image. A black structure, angular, cold. It didn't move like a ship. It moved like a thought, slow, patient, deliberate. Kaloran stared at it for a long time. We are not alone in trying to help Earth. Back on Earth, people were beginning to feel normal again. Or trying to. In Paris, artists returned to painting. In Nairobi, children played soccer in the streets. In Tokyo, a boy looked through a telescope and noticed something strange in the sky. A moving shadow, blocking stars. He told no one. Not yet. Meanwhile, deep in Antarctica, the alien research drone returned to the ancient human bunker. This time, something had changed. The air was vibrating. Inside the cold metal walls, lights flickered, and machines humans had never built began to power on. The drone sent a distress ping, but before the signal could reach the mothership, silence. The drone was gone. Kaloran received the final frame, a single image. A dark hand-like structure, reaching out toward the drone. But it wasn't metal, it was alive. That's not human, Sarek whispered. And it's not one of ours. Kaloran gave the command. Lock down all probes. Begin deep scans of the ice. This is not just Earth's mystery now. It's ours too. In Moscow, an alien ambassador visited a human scientist, Dr. Lena Volkov. She had spent her life studying myth, not machines. She showed him cave drawings from 12,000 years ago, discovered just weeks ago. Look, she said, pointing. Aliens came before, not yours. Something darker. They didn't teach. They hunted. The ambassador looked at the image, a creature falling from the sky, followed by fire, death, and black stars. And what stopped them? he asked. Dr. Volkov looked up. Nothing. They left when there was nothing left to take. Above Earth, alien sensors detected a pulse. It came from the Pacific Ocean, from a trench deeper than any human submarine had reached. It wasn't energy. It wasn't sound. It was memory. The AI reported. A signal shaped like pain, billions of years old. Kaloran whispered, "Is it calling to us, or warning us?" In Brazil, Noah, the girl who connected human minds with alien is suddenly fell unconscious while speaking to a hybrid system. Her vitals were stable, but her mind was trapped. In her dream, she stood in a black desert, and from that desert, a voice spoke. "They were never yours to save. They belong to us." She woke up screaming. Kaloran held an emergency meeting with his ship's inner circle. This third presence, it's not a visitor. It's a return. Sarex asked the question no one wanted to face. Did we bring it back by interfering with Earth? Kaloran didn't answer. Instead, he gave a new command. Tell the humans, not as masters, as allies. Across Earth, a message appeared, not in the sky, but in every screen, every radio, every connected signal. To the people of Earth, something is coming. It does not come to save. It does not come to speak. It comes to feed. We ask not for trust. We ask for unity. People panicked. Some ignored the message. Others armed themselves. Some prayed. Others blamed the aliens. But a small group, believed. In Egypt, an archaeologist named Malik shared new data. The pyramids were not tombs. They were warnings. He played a sound. A hum from inside the stones. It matched the new deep space pulse. It's the same frequency, he said. Whatever's coming. Our ancestors feared it enough to shape history around it. And then it arrived, not with fire, not with war, with emptiness. Stars began vanishing from the night sky, swallowed by a moving void. No shape, no lights, just absence. An alien warship near Mars tried to scan it. Ship disappeared in seconds. Not destroyed. Erased. Kaloran stared at the data. It consumes, not for survival, but for silence. He looked down at Earth. At the humans still fighting, still loving, still creating. They don't understand yet that this isn't a war. It's extinction, but Earth was not ready to die. In hidden labs, human scientists and alien engineers now worked side by side. Eli, the teenage tech prodigy from Kenya, was leading a new signal disruption project. We'll jam it, not stop it, but slow it. Give the world a chance to wake up. At the UN, for the first time in decades, every country agreed. One voice, one defense, one Earth. Sarex walked beside Kaloran in silence. Do you regret coming here? He asked. Kaloran answered, not anymore. We came to save them, but now, they may be the only ones who can save us. In the final moments of that day, the black sky above Earth blinked once, as if something massive had opened its eye. And somewhere, deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, the eye blinked back. Something old had awakened. Something that once fed on stars. And this time, Earth was not going to be quiet. The sky over Earth was not blue anymore. It was gray. Not because of clouds, not because of dust, but because the stars were disappearing. One by one. Inside the alien mothership, Commander Kaloran stood silently, watching a map of the Milky Way. Hundreds of points of light were now black. Sarex entered with new data. 2 more systems gone. Total star loss, 784. Kaloran didn't blink. How long until Earth is next? Sarex hesitated. If we do nothing, 3 Earth weeks. Back on Earth, in a lab in Iceland, a joint human-alien team worked around the clock. Eli, the teenage engineer, stood before a group of scientists and elders. We can't fight this thing with missiles or metal. It eats energy. It erases time, a human physicist added. but maybe we can confuse it. The plan was dangerous, almost insane. They called it the Extinction Code, a program designed to broadcast chaos, not panic, not fear, mathematical chaos. The kind of pattern that living minds understand. But machines cannot. They would send fake thoughts, scrambled memories, backwards physics to overload the enemy. Like screaming nonsense into the ears of a god, Sarix explained. Meanwhile, strange things were happening to the planet. In the Sahara, the sand turned cold at noon. In the Amazon, animals moved in perfect silence, as if listening. In New York, thousands had the same dream, a tall figure made of stars, whispering, "You were always mine." Dr. Lena Volkov called it mental gravity. It's not just killing stars. It's pulling thoughts. Kay Lauren called a meeting with Earth's top leaders, not just politicians, but poets, priests, soldiers, and scientists. "You must understand," he said. "What's coming is not a war. It's a test of identity. It will erase not just bodies, but belief. The only weapon that works is meaning." So Earth did something strange. It began to write. All over the world, people shared memories, music, stories, and dreams. Children uploaded drawings. Grandmothers recorded lullabies. Old warriors wrote regrets. Billions of files were uploaded into the Extinction Code to give it soul. And when it was ready, they launched it into space, straight into the dark mouth of the entity approaching. At first, nothing happened. Then. The stars blinked back. Just for a second. Sarix gasped. It paused. Kaloran clenched his fists. We made it feel something. But the pause didn't last. The dark presence now turned, not just toward Earth, but inside it. In Antarctica, the ice cracked open. A massive structure, buried for eons, began to rise. It wasn't alien, and it wasn't human. It was something in between. Long-dead monitoring station left by the ancient species that had once escaped this enemy. "They were here, Doctor," Volkov whispered. "Long before us, they failed." Inside, a message was left behind, carved in sound and stone. "You cannot defeat the darkness. You must become the reason it leaves." Kaloran read those words again and again. Become. The reason, not the weapon, not the shield, the story. Sarix replied, "Then we must offer something. It can't erase." And so the final plan was born, a memory arc. Part machine, part mind, a digital beacon filled with all of Earth's cultures, beliefs, failures, and dreams. If the enemy reached Earth, this arc would fire into deep space, preserving what made humanity human. But there was a problem. It needed a living mind to guide it, one that had felt both hope and despair. It couldn't be an alien. It couldn't be a machine. It had to be human. Noah, still recovering from her earlier visions, volunteered. "I heard it once," she said. "I think I can confuse it again, not with fear, with love." The countdown began. The ark was loaded. The enemy now glowed above Earth like a second moon, a black orb, pulsing like a dying heart. Then it spoke, not in words, not in signals, but in grief. Billions felt it at once. A sadness so deep, it nearly crushed the human will to fight. Kaloran took one last walk through the ship. He looked at Earth below. "We came to rescue them, but they taught us something." "Greater?" Sarix asked. "What's that?" Kaloran replied, "How to be remembered." Then Noah entered the chamber. The ark was ready. She looked small inside it. One girl, carrying the history of a planet. "Send me when it reaches the edge," she said. "Not a second before. Let it hear everything we are." Outside, the void began to open. The black stars screamed. The sky cracked. And then, the memory arc launched. Time itself bent. Every thought Earth had ever spoken screamed into the cosmos. Memories, laughter, mistakes, love. And in that final moment, The enemy hesitated. Just long enough. The black orb began to shrink. Not die. But retreat. As if it had seen itself in US and didn't like what it saw. Then silence. Real silence. The stars returned. The air grew warm. The ships powered down. The earth breathed. Noah never came back, but her voice echoed in the system. If you're hearing this, it means we made it. Not because we were strong, not because we were smart, but because we refused to forget who we are. 3 weeks later, the stars were back. The sky was blue again. Birds flew, rivers flowed, machines buzzed. Earth was alive, but something felt different. Something was missing. In a quiet room in Nairobi, Eli sat with his notebook, looking at a blank page. I don't know what to write anymore, he whispered. The danger is gone, but so is the girl who saved us. All across Earth, people remembered Noah. Not through statues or holidays, but through moments. A child in Japan drew spirals in the sand. A singer in Brazil added a verse about silence. A farmer in Italy left one row of crops untouched. For the stars, everyone seemed to carry a small piece of her, but no one could explain how. In the alien mothership, Kaloran stood before the same glass where he had first watched Earth. Now, his eyes were softer. We did not save them, he said to Syrinx. We became part of them. Syrinx nodded. But at what cost? Memory decay had begun. Strange side effects of the extinction code were appearing. Some people started hearing voices, not harmful, but familiar. Others had dreams of lives they never lived. One man in Canada built a machine overnight. Though he had never studied engineering. Dr. Lena Volkov called it the Echo. The Ark didn't just save memory. It reshaped us. Governments tried to investigate. One global report said, 10% of the population is showing enhanced empathy, faster learning, and shared thoughts. Some celebrated it. Others feared it. Are we still human? One world leader asked. Or have we become part alien? In a hidden base in Iceland, the Ark's signal pulsed. Soft, constant, alive. It carried Noah's voice. But more than that, it carried consciousness fragments, not full thoughts. Just feelings, love, wonder, sadness, curiosity. Like the soul of Earth itself was speaking back. Meanwhile, something else stirred. From deep space, where the dark presence had vanished, a new signal returned. Not a threat, but a question. Why did you fight to live? The alien AI decoded it. It's asking what makes life valuable. Kaloran whispered. It left, but it's still listening. And so, a new plan began. Not defense. Not war. But communication. A giant project was launched, part alien tech, part human soul, called the answering machine. It would send out messages, not of power or control, but of meaning. A poem from a Syrian child, a lullaby from an Inuit elder, a simple sentence from Eli. We are small, but we feel big things. As messages flowed, Earth slowly united, not by government, but by shared memory. Borders softened. Languages mixed. Stories merged. Some feared loss of identity. Others saw it as a new kind of humanity, not one race, not one species, but one mind, many voices. But not everyone adapted. Some rejected the Echo. Some demanded the Ark be destroyed. Protests rose. We never asked for this. I want my old thoughts back. Kaloran watched the chaos. Even after survival, they still struggle with themselves. Syrinx replied, maybe that's what makes them strong. In the ruins of the Antarctic outpost, Dr. Volkov found something buried beneath ice, a second message, older than any civilization. Written in a universal math symbol code. If you remember pain, you are still alive. If you turn pain into story, you are worth saving. One night Eli visited the Ark. It was cold, glowing, silent. He placed his hand on the panel, and for the first time, He heard her voice, not a memory, a live message. "Hello, Eli." His eyes widened. "Noah, not exactly, I'm what's left. A piece of her, living in the signal. Enough to say goodbye." He sat down. "Why did you do it?" "Because stories are stronger than death." The next morning, Alem published a new book, We Are the Memory. It became the most translated story in human history. One sentence was written on its last page. She became a signal, so that silence would never win again. In space, the stars were calm, but far beyond, a new darkness stirred. Not the same one. Something. Watching. Waiting. But this time, Earth was not afraid. It had become a voice too loud to silence. 5 years later, the Earth was peaceful. There had been no attacks, no black stars, no whispers in the dark, but the people hadn't forgotten. They remembered everything. And the memory arc still pulsed in Iceland, quiet, alive, glowing like a sleeping sun. Eli was now older, not just in age but in thought. He had become a memory speaker, someone trained to help others understand their strange new dreams and thoughts from the echo. He met with a little girl named Amara in a green field. "I saw her again," she said. "The girl made of stars." Eli nodded. "That means you remember something beautiful." Amara asked, "Is she real?" He smiled softly. "She was, and maybe she still is. But far away. Something was changing. In the deepest part of space, far beyond the black star zone, a signal was detected, not from the enemy, not from Earth, but from another memory arc. Kaloran was the first to analyze it. His ship had not left Earth orbit since the battle. He now wore Earth clothes, spoke softly, and listened more than he spoke. "This arc, it's not human, and not from our kind. It's older." Sarix decoded part of the message. Only one phrase came through clearly: "You are not alone in remembering." The team called it the chorus signal, and it kept growing. More voices, more languages, more dreams, from different galaxies, different civilizations. It meant one thing: other species had survived the dark too, and they had fought it the same way. With memory. Earth was invited to respond. To join the chorus, the United World Council met. A decision had to be made. Should we send our full arc into the chorus? All of our songs, scars, and secrets? Some feared it. What if it attracts new threats? What if it changes us again? Others believed in it. If we stay silent, we stay alone. Dr. Volkov stood up. Now old, her hair white, her voice clear. "Once we feared the dark. Then we filled it with stories. Now let us make it sing." The decision was yes. Earth would send one final signal, but not just data. A living voice, like Noah once was. Not a sacrifice, a connection. Eli volunteered, not to disappear, but to merge. He had already been changed by the echo. He could feel thoughts before they formed, dreams before they were spoken. "I'm ready," he said, "to become the voice of our planet." Kaloran placed his hand on Eli's shoulder. "You are not leaving. You are becoming louder." The memory arc glowed brighter than ever. The same chamber where Noah once lay now open, inviting Eli in. He smiled, holding a simple item, Noah's necklace. "For luck," he said. As the chamber closed, the chorus signal reached Earth again. Stronger, more musical. And this time, it said, "We are many. We are broken, but we remember, and we endure." Inside the ark, Eli's mind expanded. He could feel every story from Earth. A mother's lullaby in Nairobi, a soldier's final words in Key, a fisherman's laugh in Sri Lanka, a child's question in New York. Is the sky listening? Now it was. The launch began. The final signal was sent. Not a weapon, not a warning, but a message. We are not perfect. We are not strong. But we are full of stories. And that is enough. Silence followed. Then, a response. Dozens of memory arcs lit up across the stars. a wave of color, across galaxies, planets, dimensions. Each one singing back, "Welcome, Earth." Eli's voice echoed across them all. Noah was our first voice. "I am not the last. We are not here to fight the dark anymore. We are here to fill it." From that moment on, the dark was never empty again, wherever it reached. It hurt us. And when new civilizations asked, how did they survive? The chorus would answer, they remembered, and the girl made of stars? She glowed inside every signal, smiling, watching, guiding. Forever. End of story.